Chapter 9 The Spark. Discord watched the Pegasus from his bedroom window as he fed her animals. He had distanced himself as his presence disturbed the critters. Instead, he did not want her to notice him staring. He was fascinated by how well she was able to tame every creature, calming them down and nuzzling them. Even the large bear posed no threat to her, so he even allowed it to lick her mane. How did she do it? How could she be so kind that even the fiercest of creatures were enchanted by her? Ironically enough, that was exactly what he thought of her. Enchanting. He shook his head. What's happening to me? His reflexes responded, You're turning into a sap, and all for that wimpy Pegasus. Hey! Discord exclaimed, glaring at the mirror. Don't talk to her about that way. See, you didn't stoop so low as to defend her honor. You've fallen for your own act. I have not. He twirled his fingers. Happened to find my fiancée slightly attractive. What's wrong with that? What's wrong? You've never found any pony attractive in your life. Even if you were to start, why would it be this pony? I mean, look at her. Discord glanced back out the window. Yeah, so? She's just so flawless. And a lot of ounce of discord in her. She's just so... The crown is nearly perfect. Exactly. She's too perfect. You have to change her. Make her hair green or something. You're right. She's too perfect. Maybe that's what makes her so interesting. Ugh! The reflection growled. Listen to yourself. Where's your pride? Shut up. He laid his hand and draped a blanket over the mirror, and then turned his attention back to Fluttershy. He had to get closer, but he did not want to frighten her. So he perched on a tree branch just a few feet away, scaring a few birds in the process. His grin widened. She was certainly more interesting up close. Hold still, Angel Bunny, she said in her sweet voice, as he fluffed the rabbit's tail. There, all done. Oh, don't worry, guys. It took a few battles, but after Dash was able to get Fluttershy, we were able to get Angel away from the studio. That bunny. The rabbit looked into her hooves and cuddled her. Discord's heart fluttered as he heard her giggle for the first time. Yes, I missed you too. Angel then pulled away and yapped something to make Fluttershy frown. Oh, you see, I made a deal with him and we're getting married. As the other animals heard this, they made frantic noises. She tried to calm down. Yes, I know. He doesn't appear very friendly. Discord was starting to regret bringing those animals. But he's not as bad as you think. This made his eyes widen. Could it be that this pony did not hate him after all? Could it be that he was finally getting to her? The animal screamed in protest. No, really. Fluttershy assured them. He hasn't really done anything to me yet. Though I will admit he still scares me a little. But he did bring you all here, and that makes me happy. She then started singing to the birds, who sang in response. Discord closed his eyes as he listened to that sweet, melodic voice of hers. Never had he heard so beautiful a sound, so perfect, so much like the pony it came from. He would have listened to it all day, had the branch not given away beneath him. He let out a cry as he hit the ground, frightening the animals and causing them to scare. Fluttershy shrieked and spun around, her terror fading when she saw the Draconicos' state. Goodness, are you hurt? She asked, flying over to him. In flinches, she lightly touched his paw. Oh, don't worry about me, he said, getting up. I'm fine. Fluttershy glanced up at the broken limb. Were you spying on me? No, well, yes. He grinned sleeplessly. You see, I didn't want to disturb you, and sorry I scared your animals off. She sighed. Well, as long as you're here, care to help me feed the animals? There's so many of them, you see, it's getting late. She pointed at the sky, turning orange and pink from the sunset. Sir, I can take care of it, he exclaimed, snapping his fingers. Done. Now how about some dinner? Fluttershy's stomach growled at the mention of food. Come to think of it, I haven't eaten much today. Another snap of his fingers, a picnic blanket appeared beneath them, along with a champagne bottle pouring into 2 glasses. Discord offered her a glass, in which she cringed slightly. Oh, no thank you. I don't drink. I know that, he said nonchalantly. It's white grape soda. Still suspicious, she accepted the glass and took a sip. He had told the truth. So, I take it you're enjoying the garden? He inquired. Oh, yes, Fluttershy said with a smile.
Thank you again, but
She looked up.
some of the birds were flying, but something stopped them when they grew too high.
Oh, that's the invisible force field. Nothing personal, but I could not risk you escaping or some pony coming to rescue you. Nothing goes in or out without my allowance. She stared around with distressed eyes.
So the animals are trapped here, like me?
Seeing her smile disappeared, Discord realized he made a mistake and had to correct it. He gently looked at her chin. Cheer up, my dear. They're here with you. Is it all that matters?
I suppose,
she replied, not smiling. He had to get that smile back, so he snapped his fingers and made a frosted carrot cake appear. Fireside's mouth dropped open.
How did you?
I told you. I had nothing to do for 3 years but spy on your ponies. It was only natural I find out a few things. He summoned a knife to cut her a slice of cake and placed it on a smaller plate.
What about dinner?
She asked. I'm sure we could break the rules a teensy bit. He smirked. As he took the plate, a fork materialized in her hoof. With which she took a bite. Discord grinned at her smile was returned.
This is the best carrot cake I've ever tasted,
she declared. Only the best for my favorite pony, Discord said, taking a slice of cake for himself. Flusterside blushed, but then looked at him seriously.
Why were you spying on me anyway? Just now, I mean.
I wasn't spying, I was observing. After all, you are a interesting subject to watch. She said nothing and stared down at her hooves, her face turning red. I wasn't lying, you know, when I said you were beautiful.
She looked away. Thank you, but I'm not that attractive.
Oh, don't be modest, my dear. He tilted her head towards him. You are a natural beauty, and that's saying a lot coming from me. Usually when I see something beautiful, I turn into a lollipop. But seriously, I would expect some pony like you to be used to such a compliment. Fluttershy moved from his claw and looked at the grass.
Not really, I mean, I was a model for a short while.
His eyes widened. Really? I mean, sure, you had the look, but I did not think you were the type to go up on stage and show yourself off.
I wasn't. That's why I quit. I couldn't handle all the attention and I had less time for my friends.
Oh, I see.
See what?
She turned back to see a mischievous, discarding look on his face.
Discard, what are you?
She squealed as he tackled her with a hug, as he kicked her legs rightly.
Discard, let me go.
What's the matter? Can't handle all the attention I'm giving you.
No,
She trailed off as he ran his claws around her back, as he started tickling.
Stop. That tickles.
Does it now? Interesting. So what happens when I do this? He moved away from her and began tickling her belly. She burst into laughter.
Discard, please. Stop it.
You sure? You seem to be enjoying it. This was his first time hearing her laugh, and it was captivating.
Please, I have to finish my cake.
Oh, all right. He sighed as he released her, only to have her tackle him over. What are you... She was using her feathers to tickle him in return. However, she did not have the advantage of size. He snatched her up before he could reveal towards her. Nice try, you dubious little thing, he exclaimed. Let's just be a warning that I am the tickle torturer here, and nobody else. Firesight giggled.
Understood.
He gently settled down. You know, you should laugh more often. Laughter becomes you well. She blushed and realized that this was the first time she had laughed in years. After the evening, Fluttershy was getting tired. She had been unable to sleep with everything going on, so he decided to retire early. As he entered her room, she looked in the mirror at the variety, examining her face and hair. No pony had called her beautiful before. Okay, am I the only one who doesn't find that believable? I mean, I can understand nobody ever calling Applejack beautiful, although if nobody does call Applejack beautiful, I'm going to roll my eyes. But really, nobody would call Fluttershy beautiful till now? I mean, come on! Really? If I wasn't so attracted to Applejack, and I'd like my mares to have a little more oomph, I'd be going all over her. It was as he was crawling into bed that he realized Discord forgot to ask his question that night. Thanks for walking me home, Spack, Applejack said as he reached the edge of the farm. Thanks again for helping me with the cruise. Even though it didn't turn out so well, it was mild big of you. Anything for you, H.A., the dragon said with a smile. Spike, you and I both know that you are not exactly a very welcome person in these fics. Because we know what writers like to do with you. We know what they like to do. So you know you're walking on thin ice. The pony whistled a sigh as he trudged down the road. The feeling was on again. It was not that healthy. After all, there was at least a 7-year gap between them, not to mention the difference in species. Also, the little fella had his eyes for another. Yes, now stay away from the dragon! Repeat, stay away from the dragon! It was then that Applejack veered a path towards the Everfree Forest. As usual, Sakura was hospitable and offered her tea. I'll tell you why I'm here, the Southern Pony said. Well, I guess you already know. You want to leave the hush? Are you confusing us? The zebra grinned. She hid her face behind her hat in embarrassment. Sakura put a stirring hand on her shoulder. I do not need the tea for me to see that age, species, and love are you in your way. But don't worry, there is a Pegasus, I say, who runs a wonderful bookstore and studio. And I do believe his voices are quite coolio. Perhaps, if you were to give him a date, you would find his specialties are first rate. Talk straight. Yes, boss. Owlsack lifted the brim of her hat slightly. What am I to do, Sakura? Go out with me? The Pegasus is young, so wait until... So you should go right now. After all, have you seen his brow? It is indeed quite a handsome one. I have a feeling you two would be quite fun in the sun.
One more time. See if Trixie doesn't get mad.
Let it go well. That only time can tell. She sighed and stuck her hand on the table.
Hey, Trix? Yes.
Twilight challenged you to a duel.
Ooh, maybe she's finally realized her superior. Trixie will be right back.
It's just like... I don't know. I'm a farmer. He runs a bookstore. Do you really think it could work out? I'm like... He doesn't look like the type of gal who actually works out a lot, but... He seems nice. A little silly, but... kind of respectable. I would say, do not cower. And go over towards that young flower. That owner tries his best, which puts him a little bit among the rest. But as dear friend Applejack, you might find companionship he lacks. You don't think so, Sakura? I know so, my dear. Owlsack was about to say something else when Rainbow Dash bolted through the door.
She didn't challenge me to a thing, but you did read it, right?
Oh yeah, Trix, I read it.
You know Trixie's gonna be listening to the recording of this, right?
Yep.
Are you prepared for the punishment?
Oh yeah.
Good. Lightning bolt. Ow! Sakura, I need your advice. Applejack. I didn't know you were here. I'll come back later.
Now, Science, the Southern Pony exclaimed. Whatever you got to tell Sakura, you could tell me. Rainbow took a deep breath.
Sword X me out.
Applejack's eyes widened. You mean that stallion and Wonderbolts?
Yeah, him. Turns out he's had a crush on me ever since I saved his pie. Not touching that line.
Nope.
What should I do?
You like the apple pass. I'll say he's a keeper. Sakura laughed. This struck me from above. These every ponies having issues I love. Rainbow scratched her
see what now?
Fletcher woke up with a scream. Discord was at her bedside in a second, his face filled with concern. What is it? What's wrong?
She sighed in relief. Nothing. It was a bad dream.
Oh. Discord blushed in embarrassment. Apologies, I just thought.
I was in danger?
She finished. She had to admit, it was awfully sweet of him. Yes, but you're not. I see. So I'll just be going.
Wait, could you, stay for a little bit?
He stared at her, then clapped his hands, turning the lights on. He sat on the edge of the bed. Still his nightmare, he said. What was it about? First I was about to tell him, to remember who she was talking to and hid her face under the covers. This girl was confused by the reaction, then recalled something and frowned. Was it about me? She peered out at him.
How did you?
You're missing it to your friends. See her face again, saying,
I'm really sorry,
Tell me.
What?
Tell me about it. She was hesitant at first, but the beans had been split. Had been spilled. Okay. I read that wrong. She told him how it was the same every night. He would hold her, chuckle darkly, whisper horrible things in her ears, sometimes turn her to a discordant self again. It stung him. Is that how you see me? Maybe I shouldn't be here.
No, please, I don't know why I keep dreaming it.
Well, I am a monster. Discord was about to snap his fingers when she touched his paw.
Please, Discord, don't go. I don't want to be alone.
He turned to her coldly. Well, I think the very cause of your fear is the last creature you want to keep you company.
But you're not the creature from my dreams. It may look like you, but it's not the real you. And I prefer you any day.
When he gazed at those bleeding eyes, his coldness dissolved. He could not leave her in this state. All right, he said with a sigh. I'll stay with you until you fall asleep. She smiled with thanks.
I'm not really sure if I can go to sleep now.
How about I help you?
Sure, but what?
With a snap of his fingers, they found themselves sitting on a cloud high above the castle.
Why are we up here?
Fluttershy asked. It's a clear night. I thought we could have a look at the stars. So he glanced up at the sky and nodded agreement, fell back beside him.
They're beautiful.
Yes, you are, Discord muttered. She raised an eyebrow at him. I mean the stars. Like you said, they're beautiful. Fluttershy giggled and turned her attention back to the sky. The Chronicles was more interested in her than the stars.
You know, Twilight can name all the stars and planets and constellations, she said. Every single one of them.
Her smile wavered at the thought of her friend. Discord saw this and knew he had to distract her. The stars are rather boring when they're stuck in the sky like that, aren't they? He waved his paw, and the Fluttershy guessed the stars moved in the shape of a butterfly.
Discord, you promise.
What? I said I would confine Master to my territory. This part of the sky is my territory.
But that's not Princess Luna.
Oh, Lulu will appreciate me putting some excitement into her night. You have to admit, this is impressive. First I watched as the astral butterfly flapped its wings against the night sky and flew in circles.
Well, it is kind of neat.
This girl laughed triumphantly as the smile returned to her face. See, my chaos can be useful.
How's rearranging the stars useful?
He grinned and made writing motions with his claws. Using the stars to spell a message. Fluttershy's eyes grew to the side of a frying pan as he read it. Do you love me? Check yes or no. Underneath he drew two boxes, marked yes and no. When she turned to him, he had that excited look on his face. He handed her his glowing claw, still pointing towards the sky. She glanced between him and the message, and finally took the claw and dropped a check in the second box. Discord frowned and erased the message, hopefully before any point he could see it. Fluttershy looked at him apologetically.
I'm really sorry, but I just don't feel that way about you yet.
No, it's okay. Well, it's not okay. She already rejected him before. For some reason, it hurt this time. Almost as if he wanted her to say yes. He stiffened as he felt something nuzzle against him. He glanced out and seen the Pegasus curling up next to him.
But I'm willing to accept you as a friend,
she said softly. As though a string were pulled inside his chest. Friend.
Well, of course. It's only fair.
He didn't know what to say. Oh, well, I've never had a friend before.
Never?
What do you think? She nuzzled closer to him.
Well, now you do, and I'm sorry.
He blinked. For what?
I was wrong about you. You're not a monster.
She closed her eyes and snuggled to his fur. Discord stared at her in awe, not believing that such a pony could exist. Not only was she beautiful beyond belief, but she was kind enough to even care for him, even if she had not given him what he had expected. The idea of having a friend made his heart explode. Who knew I even had a heart? He stuck out his claw uncertainly and began to stroke her mane. Fluttershy opened her eyes and looked up at him. He retracted his claw. Not sure why he suddenly hesitant. I'm sorry, do you mind? She stared at him for a moment and smiled.
No, it's okay.
She flipped onto her belly and closed her eyes.
Go ahead, as long as you don't tickle me again.
He chuckled as he sat up, leaning on his arm. Don't worry, my dear. I'll be gentle. Not wasting a second of his opportunity, he placed his claw on top of her head and slowly ran his fingers through her mane. He sighed internally as the softness of her hair. Fluttershy was once again surprised at his tender touch. She opened her eyes as he extended strokes down her back, into her tail, but then relaxed its arm again. His touch was so soothing that it lulled her to sleep. When Discord noticed this, he was not sure what to do. He did not want to wake her, for fear of ruining the peaceful state she was in. He could always teleport her to her bed, but did not want to leave her. Even in sleep, she was fascinating. He could watch her like that forever, lying so still with only her body rising ever so slightly as she breathed. He would not dare move her, or leave her. So he curled his body around her, like a dragon guarding his treasure. He continued to stare at his face, so it would be the last thing he would see before drifting off to sleep himself. Author's note, yes, I'm an Apple Spike fan, deal with it. Well, that's fine if you're an Apple Spike fan. More power to you. However, I am not. And I'm reading this, and this is my sketch show, so sadly, this is where I'm going to have to have a little fun. Oh, don't look at me like that, folks. You knew what you were getting into.